Hello, everyone. This is Barbara, Iris, Alsue, Parental World Knowledge, and this is our live art reality show. And we're going to be doing watercolor painting again today. We had started a painting for a number of lessons now. If you haven't been with us, I did a floral arrangement with fruit. And I have layered the painting, a few layers, and we're going to be doing one more layer, 4 layers altogether. And this is watercolor that's non-toxic, and this is a canvas material. I hope that you have your paints and your canvas paper ready. And then if you haven't drawn this, you do just a line drawing. So it would just be the outline. Here and there to give you balance of how you're going to make this proportioned. But you don't have to do every little line there is. I'm going to show you how to do strokes. We do just gentle strokes for a small area, and you always have to have just a little bit of water and I use a liquid white. I use Groomacher, is a very good brand. It's lasted 2 years. Didn't dry out. So, I mean, if you have need to, buy things when it's on sale, which is what I do for a nonprofit organization that I run, Artist Barbara Alsue Fine Art Studio. The best thing is to get things that aren't going to dry out. If you're not going to use it on a regular basis. I don't always every day. Now I'm starting to do the reality show daily, but not every day would I be using all our paints, and we have a lot of paints. So my suggestion is to buy a better brand. And Jerry's Artist Outlets, they're in West Orange if you're in New Jersey. If not, they're online also. So, check them out. You can get 10% if you say that you're taking lessons from Artist Barbara Alsue Fine Art Studio. I do run the nonprofit, and that's how I'm listed with Jerry's. And Parental World Knowledge, I haven't had a chance to tell them that, also to list that. But I just wanted you to know, if it's something on sale, you won't be getting their 10% additional for being a student. So, hopefully you get some good sales, and hopefully the 10% will also help you. But I like it liquid because then, it's easier to mix, especially if you're a beginner. So it's nice to have that white. It's never in the palettes anyway. When I look to see, it's very rarely. You can't really get a white. So it's good to get the liquid. Individually, I have never seen the white in a palette. So if the color isn't just right, you can always add some more. I put the white with the blue, as you saw in my background. And that's only one. Yesterday. And what I said was, do little strokes. So it's just soft little strokes so that you don't put too much paint on. And as I said, make sure that it's more dry than anything. I'm still praying, and I hope everyone heard yesterday and the day before. We were talking about on social media about Nepal, India, that they had earthquakes and many deaths. So please, everybody, pray for them. I do believe in prayer, and God will help. And I'm praying a miraculous healing prayer for all those people that are living or even visiting in India, Nepal. A beautiful day today in West Orange, New Jersey. I hope everything's coming through with our broadcast. I see it on my monitor. Everything is fine. I see my picture. I see, and I believe there is sound correct. I can hear. Yep. So hopefully everything's good. Now, any age can paint as long as they have motor skills, a child. If you see they're doing triangle or circular shapes. You have to be 18 to watch the show, but you could always tape it. To be on live, the show, you'd have to be 18 or more, but you could tape the show and then show your children. And anyone who wants a lesson from artist Barbara L. Sue Fine Art Studio, we are available for free for any youth up to age 26 until the end of April. And if you want to be on a reality show, as I said, you have to be 18 or more, you can be free on the reality show. If you'd like to be interviewed, if there's a job position that you want, even if it's not in art, but any position you want to talk about what you'd like to obtain as a position, we would love to have you on the show. And we created this show primarily so that we will give inspiration to all the tech people, to keep all the tech people in school and then be able to take positions, whether it be architects, engineers, etc. And we instruct up to age of senior citizens. So I hope that people take advantage and, come for our lessons. We do throughout the year many free lessons for our nonprofit, Artist Barbara Sue Fine Art Studio, and we never charge for our service. But also now with Parental World Knowledge, you can come on this reality show, and you can be any age as long as you're 18 or more. Those are the rules of Google Hangouts, that you have to be to watch it or to be on it. Putting some more white. If you're on what you'll do is go to the public library and get a book out on watercolor and how to make colors, because there's so many colors that you could make out of this palette. Of course, if you come here, we can show you how to make the colors, but I'm just saying, if you're, not coming, really, truly, if you're not painting for a while, it's going to be difficult to figure out how to make all the colors. So I would get a book. That's the simplest way. Why should you have confusion? Just to be fun. And let's have fun. And don't worry about being perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. You can always layer to fix any mistake. That's my second layer on this, still on the background. And once we finish all the layers, the 4 layers for every object, we're going to put on colored pencil when it's dry. And try to get as close as you can to the color. And it will look 3D when you get done. I've said this before. If you've watched my shows, it will be amazing. Now, we have master artists that come for our lessons. So, just because you have a master's degree in art doesn't mean that you can't learn more about watercolor. Definitely, it has been passed too quickly. I've said this before in other shows, in the learning process. And I just think your teachers themselves did not learn properly. And that's why it's just so quickly passed over in college. And it's really the first thing you need to learn before going on to acrylic and oil. So you need to master that first. If you prefer a private lesson, you can have a private lesson with artist Barbara Sue Fine Art Studio. Now my son, I've said it before, he's lead green, junior architect. Here, so if people want to learn about how to do other things with painting and everything, and doing buildings, homes. He also is available at times. And he's been designing for over 6 years. He's built all over the country already. Hotel he designed in New York, New Jersey, major corporations. And designing he instructs for free at Rutgers for NJIT for high school students, and even some college students have attended his class. Excuse me, I have allergies. Love the smell of flowers and looking at them, but definitely allergic. I do have a little water here. Forgive me. I love the sheen from the canvas paper as opposed to just using regular. When you put more layers on, you start seeing that. And plus, when you want to frame this, you don't have to put glass over it. This canvas paper allows you to just put a frame. So if you get regular paper, you have to put a glass frame. And I always worry, because I have great nieces and nephews, and they're very young. And I'm always worried, oh, are they going to be grabbing that glass? So I'd rather have it like this, and then I don't have to worry, and it looks more professional. It looks like an acrylic as opposed to a watercolor. You could see the sheen that I mean. See how it has a sheen when you start putting a second coat? It's just so beautiful. And when you're working, if you need to work on another part, you can always turn your paper. You don't have to, get the paint all over your hands. You want to just turn the paper. If you need to work in another area, just turn the paper around so that you don't have the paint right against where you're painting that's wet. You don't want to be leaning into wet paint. But it is non-toxic paint, and it just rinses right off. But the reason you wouldn't want to would be smearing on your page, and then if it dries, excuse me. Barbara speaking. Anybody can call me Monday through Sunday, 9 to 5, but please don't call while we're taping. Normally, I wouldn't even answer the phone, but my father recently passed away, so I have to take any calls just so that I can tell them I'll talk to them later. If you'd like to be on a show, you just have to call 973-736-1637. Again, that's 973-736-1637. And you can call us 9 to 5, Monday through Sunday. Since we air at 5, I can't take your call first at 5, but that's the last minute that I can talk to you because we must go on air. I received a lovely letter from our First Lady, Michelle Obama, and she was thanking me for being so caring of our community, of our world, and supporting our president, Mr. Barack Obama. Because look, if we don't all what chance do we all have? We need to work together. We can't just expect our president, the Senate, our Congress, we just can't expect them to do everything. We also have to help and contribute. Whatever it is, you're the smallest effort, it's just important. I donate with Parental World Knowledge and also with artist Barbara L. Sue Fine Art Studio. Mr. President, in a big way, he made a big gala in Washington. I've said this before, and I just want to tell people that have but not a universal cure with the funds that he and also that I have been raising for years. But there's so much more to do, and we truly need to all do our effort, whatever it is. There's something that you feel could help our country, please write our president. He's always willing to listen. Okay. So everything now has 2 coats on the outline, and my third. Now, even if you don't have any former training, whether it be in school or any art lesson, please feel free to still call us. We will start from the beginning with you. And truly, it's easy. We can have you painting within an hour. So you won't have to be feeling embarrassed. You're going to have fun. I've had children come to me age 13 and they didn't even want the lesson. Their mom bought one of our tickets from Shop for a Cause from Macy's, and we're going to do that hopefully again this year, and hasn't started yet, but it's only a $5 ticket, and you get your Shop for a Cause ticket. You get 25% off usually in any Macy's store across the country. So even if you're going to travel on vacation. And then we make beautiful bracelets with antiques on them. So you get a beautiful bracelet. And you're eligible for usually their gift cards, about $500 that you'll get. And every store, they give away one gift card with that. And the whole thing is $5 for all that, and you can get a free art lesson or poetry lesson. So all for $5. We're a nonprofit, so it's tax deductible if you're filing taxes. And that's it. So my suggestion, and you can take that lesson, as I said, Monday through Sunday, 9 to 5, or be on our reality show. You can do that too and take a lesson. And that is free. If you buy the ticket, You have a whole year to take it. No obligation to sign up for anything else. And then you can get one from the reality show. Parental World Knowledge. Again, that's 973-736-1637. Call when we're not airing, please. So we're almost done with our third layer of the background. And then we'll just have to do one layer of the painting, and we'll put on our colored pencils, and we're done, finally. Now that's a watercolor. If you don't do this, it's going to look see-through. It's going to look horrible. There's nothing worse than seeing through a watercolor and you see the pencil marks, charcoal pencil marks. It looks terrible. I have seen showings. I won't say what artists, but they did not learn how to paint watercolor. My late mother was trained by a master artist, and she was my greatest mentor, and she taught me. Her late name was Ruth. Now our show is going to also have, besides art, we're going to have cooking and different things too, so in the near future. But we are primarily doing go to something else. But since it's the first time I'm giving lessons on watercolor, I really want you to learn properly, so I'm giving you the full hour doing this, because it takes a little bit of time to grasp how to do this. You definitely need at least a full hour. And we're getting new viewers every day, so it's, it's very important that I give a full hour each time. I know it can be frustrating unless you know how to do it. You really need a full hour to learn that. That's looking much better. You always need to put a few coats because 4 altogether. So we're on the 3rd. Now you don't have to paint what I'm painting. Paint what you really love to look at, and you enjoy doing, whatever it is. That's what you should be painting. I know in school they don't always allow you to do your own subject matter, but when I give my lessons, I do believe that you should do your own subject matter. When I had teachers, I was in advanced art classes, they allowed me to have my own subject matter, but I know other teachers in school do not. So, you have to, in school, of course, respect what the teacher is saying to do. But I feel the only way you're really going to learn is to also, on your own, do the things that you love to paint or love to look at if you've never painted. Now, if you don't have imagination to paint something, you can use props. Or if you like to do nature, you can go out in nature and take your sketch pad and do a line drawing of horses or whatever it is. If you like to do people, you'd have to hopefully have a live model, or at least go to the art store and buy. They have a model that's in wood, and you can look at that and you get the right proportions, and that you could draw a person by looking at that. So it's not expensive. I think it's about 19. Ooh, So you know the hands, the arms, and you can position it the way you want. And it's very helpful in getting the proportions. Okay, well, we did that's the third level of layering. Yeah, we could. That's good. So it's going to have to dry. I'll try to pick it up from the top and show you. You see? I'm putting the fourth layer on the objects that I did, the flowers, fruit. It's so relaxing doing this. I went through a lot the last couple of weeks, so this is truly just so wonderful to be able to go back to my painting. It's always fun. Great for any age. People just tuned in. My father passed away and this past week, so it's been a little difficult to be without him. He was a volunteer with our business, Parental World Knowledge, and our nonprofit, and it's just so difficult to be without him in this world. And other people, they just can't believe it. He was so healthy, and he had just a terrible accident. And I truly believe that was the cause of his death. He slipped on a water grate plate, which didn't have a safety strips that should have been on that plate. He severely fractured his shoulder and arm. He was given surgery, and he unfortunately true belief, because the head of the hospital said most likely, and so did the other doctors that are neurosurgeons, and everybody concurred. And then I also Googled it, and I saw a medical report stating you have a severe wounded shoulder and arm, most likely it could cause bleeding of the brain if you had surgery. And that's something I didn't know prior to the surgery. If I knew that, this is just unfortunate. There wasn't a brain neurosurgeon where my father had the surgery. And they begged, out of, we're in New Jersey, they begged New York surgeons and twice to do the surgery because they didn't have a neurosurgeon that does brain surgery on hand. And they refused out of reputation. His biggest collector for the veterans. So now you know why I say, myself and the world has lost someone so great. Not only did give to the veterans, he also made sure they donated to the local high school for kids for college scholarships. We have 3 more minutes left. I do pray a miraculous healing prayer for everybody in the world that needs it. And I truly hope that everyone, they should have good health, peace, and I just hope all around the world, if you also believe, in spiritual, you should have spiritual and strength. And hopefully, amen, for everyone in the world to please pray for the people that are going through it's earthquakes that are just killing so many people. It's almost 2,000 people that's the worst thing to do. Try to take shelter if you don't have good, strong shelter. Take shelter within like a hospital or a school, a library. But please just don't go to the streets. I heard 10,000 people were doing that, and I've been writing and blogging, and hopefully somebody is going to listen not to do that. That's the worst thing to do. You need shelter in an earthquake. I was in some really bad earthquakes, but not quite as bad as this, of course. But it was very high on the Richter scale in California many years ago. I went out to a wedding, and I just hope and pray people, you cannot be just on the outside. You need to have shelter. I was fine. I was inside, a strong home, and even though it was very bad on the Richter, we were safe. I mean, it wasn't something that I had to worry about because we were inside. But if you're outside, you have no protection. Even if you feel you could run, you can't run that fast. With an earthquake, the ground is trembling, and you could just, fall right into the ground and be buried alive. So you can't be on the outside. You're not going to be able to outrun. I guess they're feeling they can outrun the earthquake, but you really can't. You're not able to outrun an earthquake. Well, I thank everyone for tuning in. And please tell other people to also watch. I greatly appreciate that. And everybody, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Again, 5 o'clock to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much again.